Hello, everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of the Essential ChatGPT Gemini Daily Midjourney and Stable Diffusion tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 8, where I'll be showing you guys how you can use Gemini for coding. Okay, so we'll be learning about all that over here into this particular chapter. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here on my screen, as you guys can see, I'm here on my new chat. Okay. So over here, before starting to code, let me tell you guys that if you don't have any previous experience with coding, then it might be tough for you to code. Okay. Because what AI does is AI actually makes it easier for you to code. You should have a basic idea about coding. Then using AI, you will be able to do some advanced level things as well. But if you don't have any knowledge at all, it might be a bit harder for you. Okay. So I'll prefer that if you want to code using any AI, let it be ChatGPT, let it be Gemini or anything else. Okay. You should first have some basic idea about that particular programming language. Okay. So let's come over here into my search engine and let's search for what are the coding languages. Coding languages. Okay. So let's search what are the coding languages. Let's click on enter. And here you guys can see there are four types. There are actually a lot of that. Okay, so here you guys can see you do have the JavaScript. Here you do have the C and the C++. You do have the SQL. You do have the Swift. You do have the Go. Here you do have the Python as well. You guys can use all these things up. Okay, so these are few of the are if you do want to get a list, you guys can see here there are basically a lot of coding languages. There is Node JS, okay? So if you do want to make any kind of website and stuff, in that case, they do use the Node JS and all. Okay, you guys can come here and check those things out as well. Okay, so let's go back and let me just go with the very basic. Okay, so the first thing comes here is how you are going to actually give out a prompt. Okay, let's say I'm going to work with Python. Okay, so now I'll come here and my prompt will be, can you give me a code for creating a Mad Libs game in Python. And those of you don't know that what is a Mad Libs game, let me come here and let me show you what is a Mad Libs game. Okay, so Mad Libs, let's click on enter. And here under images, here you guys can see that basically you will have a page quite like this, where you need to fill it up with a appropriate word. Okay, so these are known as Mad Libs game. When you were small, you guys used to have in your question papers as well, I do believe. Okay, so you guys can actually create this one using Python. So my command is give me the, let's go with the code for creating a Mad Libs game in Python. Okay, so if I come here and if I click on submit, you guys can basically see that over here now I do have this particular code. Okay, but before using the code here, you guys can check out this caution as well. Okay, so over here here it says that Gemini can help you with codings and topics about coding, but you are responsible for your use of the code or coding explanation. So you should use discretion and carefully test and review all code for errors. So it's not that directly from here you will copy this. Maybe you will go into any ID. So there are different IDs from where you guys can run your own code. Let's say you just can take just the frame or the out frame of the code from here, and basically later you guys can just check those out here as well. So let me come here, let me cancel this, let me cancel this over here, and basically this is the type of code which you guys can actually use. Okay, so here you do have the code as well. So over here basically they do have give me this particular code, but here if you do want to move it onto the right hand side and check those out, you guys can basically do that right from here itself. Okay, and also underneath here they do have a small description of how I should actually use this particular code. Okay, so basically this is a example and we can basically enhance this particular code. Okay, so it's not replacing a coder directly. What it's doing is it's actually increasing, or it's actually making the work of a coder quite easier. Okay. So now let's come here the same way. Let's go with create or code for creating a calculator in Python. Okay. And if I just click on enter, here you guys can see here, basically I do have the code of creating a calculator. Okay. So over here, you guys can see how it actually works, and you guys can just copy this code directly. And over here, they do have three different ways of, or four different ways of how you can use these codes. Okay. So here, you guys can use the first one, which actually have this def option over here. Okay. And here you guys can check this one out, and over here they do have used the while loop option. Okay, so here they do have used the while loop for the third one. Over here you guys can see they do have used the if and the elif options, and here they do have the else option as well. And from here you guys can check that there is a small description about this particular code as well. If you do want to copy this, just click on copy code. And now if I go into any of my notepad, let's say, let's search for a notepad right over here. And now if I just click Control V, you guys can see I have just copied this whole thing up. So this is how you guys can actually check this one. And also here you guys can see what is the sources of my search. Okay, or from where I did get this particular codes. Somewhere it will be present, right? So these are few of the sources, and if I do want to verify those sources, I can click over there, and from here it will directly lead me into that particular uh, website, okay, or particular address. So let me come here and I can just check those things out as well. If I don't need to check it out, I can come here and basically I can check those options out as well. If I want to double check all the responses which was given by me, which were given by Gemini to me, over here I can actually double check those responses from Google as well. Okay, so you guys can actually work with that. Okay, so now also you will be able to upload an image. Okay, let's say if you do have any kind of image, or let's say if I come here and if I just take or go into a particular uh, place, let's say if I go into a particular website, let's go to freepik.com. And over here, if I just take up a screenshot, okay, let me just take up a screenshot of this particular page. And from here, now let's go to Gemini. And over here, let's create up a new chat first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to upload image. Okay. And from here, if I do want to upload the same image, which I do have just screenshotted, let's take this image. Let's open this one up. And if I come here and if I tell them that code or give me a node.js backend code for my website, which image is given. And if I just click on enter, here you guys will be able to see that Gemini will reply me back. Okay. So over here, they might ask that what kind of thing they want. And here you can see that they won't be able to give me the exact code to display the image I sent as a screenshot of a website. And they won't be able to directly fetch content from other sites as copyright restriction. However, they can basically provide me with the Node.js backend code that can serve static files, which could be an image you upload yourself. Okay. So here you guys can see that I do have the code right over here. And before using that, I can actually check out the caution. And here you guys can see, they do have told me that in this particular example, you would create a folder called public and stuff, and there are things which you can basically change over here. Okay. And also over here, let's go to a new chat. And over here, if I search for backend code for a delivery company of groceries using node.js. Okay. So I'm just asking them to give me the backend code for a delivery company of groceries using the node.js. Okay. So here you guys can see, they're telling me that basically building a backend for a grocery delivery company using Node.js is basically a complex project. But here is a breakdown that how you need to get started. Okay. So first, you need to go here to the express.js. Here, these are the dependencies. Here you guys can see that over here you do have the core functionalities. You guys can just follow these steps all along. And over here, you guys can see that you do have some sample codes as well. Okay. So you guys can check those sample codes out. And also, if you do want to get any Node.js with Express tutorial, you guys can go with this particular option and get some free tutorials regarding that as well. Okay. So if you do want to use them, you guys can come here and you guys can just use them from here as well. Okay. Like if you do want to give them more ideas about that, okay, you guys can come here and you guys can give them more ideas, or you guys can get more accurate answers. Okay. Let me tell that build me a guessing game in Python. So over here, you guys can see that now I do have all of these options. Over here, I do have this particular code, but now you want to come here and you want to tell that they will have 3 guesses in total. Okay. And if you just click on enter here, you guys can see now they do have adjusted the Python code for the guessing game with only 3 attempts. Okay. So here you guys can see that they do have actually selected the loop option over here. Now the loop is activated over here. And also now if you want to come here and if you want to give them more options, okay, so let's say uh, give them hints. Let's say I will give them hints about the word. Okay. So come here, click on enter. And here you guys can see that now this is again coming to this particular point, and over here it have readjusted. So you guys can check that what are the changes made over here. So you guys have added hint option, hint function to provide some basic hints based on the guess. Okay, implemented a list of secret words to choose from randomly, and modified the game loop to check for the exact guess and provide hints otherwise. So this is basic example, and you can always customize the hints over here as well. Okay, so this is the code, and also if you do want more detailed, okay, so you guys can come here. The word will be treasure. Or I will just write the secret word will be, and let's open the double quote and let me type treasure, and let's close this double quote. And if I just click on enter here, you guys will be able to see that now I have already told them that what is going to be my secret word. Okay, so over here again they do have made the changes. Okay, so remove the secret word list and directly set the secret word to treasure. Okay, and here you guys can see modified the get hint function to provide a specific hint for the word treasure. Okay, so you guys can come here and you guys can see that here you do have the uh you have used the loop option over here. Okay, here you do have the for loop which you will be able to use, and here you guys can see I do have the total number of attempts over here. And lastly, once you are done, let's tell that use the if and else function in my code as well. Okay, so if you come here and if you tell them to use the if and else function in your code as well, here you guys can see now they do have used the if and else function over here as well into your code. Okay, so this is how you guys can customize your code over here, and the one which is more accurate, you guys can just copy that one and basically take that particular code into the place where you guys will be able to run your code accordingly. So for me, I do use PyCharm. You guys can also use for yourself as a IDE. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys do have got up a basic idea about how to use Gemini for coding. So, yeah, I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye, everyone.